I'm Luís Seabra and I welcome you to episode 1 of the Who Is program brought to you by the Information Systems Community of Practice of the Project Management Institute. This series of podcasts and videocasts were designed to bring you closer to the lives of some remarkable project managers, which you'll hopefully find useful and insightful. And for the kickoff of this program, who better than Ricardo Vargas? You'll probably know him already, as he was recently a member of the board of the Project Management Institute, or because he has written quite a few books on project management, including some in English, like The Practical Guide to Project Planning and the Microsoft Project series. What you might not know is how Ricardo first got into project management, or what makes him so active.
Hello, Luis. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a very good time to talk a little bit about project management. So thank you very much for the invitation.
You're very welcome. I was very excited to have you on this Ruiz program because we've met some years ago in Malta. Do you remember that? You were at the board of the PMI at the time.
Yeah. It's very interesting to see people because we both speak Portuguese and now we're talking in English. So it's very interesting to see. And the first time that we start talking in English and just 10 seconds I said to you, okay, but why we are talking in English? We both speak Portuguese. So I remember. Yeah, great time.
Yes, it was. In fact, that was my first PMI Congress. And I would like to know first how someone from chemistry and chemicals goes from there to project management. How did you manage that?
Yeah, it's really interesting. A lot of people ask me, how did I start and what happened to make my path to project management? And it's really interesting. It wasn't something completely planned. I was a student of chemical engineering, and then I had one class about operationals research, and I worked a lot with computers and software and like Microsoft Office. And when Microsoft released the Microsoft project at that time, I started using that tool to help me in the operational research classes. And then I said, this is very interesting to put things, to plan things and to do scheduling and this kind of stuff. And then I start studying a little bit about that to improve. And then I was an instructor of Microsoft Excel at that time, Excel and Word and this kind of tools in the company as an interim. And then I saw one gentleman coming in to give Microsoft project classes, and we received a lot of money. And I said, why? They are paying me a little bit for teaching Excel and the other guy. So I need to learn that thing. And then this started everything. This started my PMI relationship in 1996. And you said to me that about Malta, our first time, but my first Congress was in 1998. And since that time, I never missed one Congress. So I went to all of them. From 1998 up to now, I will be traveling to Dallas in about 10 days to present the paper. So it's why everything started. And then a join of a lot of coincidences and opportunity and find the right speech. This makes everything happen.
Right. So after that first experience with Microsoft project, how did you deal with your background on chemicals and chemistry?
Yeah, the background is great. It's great because all the engineering stuff that we have a huge mathematical background. It taught me a lot to understand because I started thinking a lot of the mathematics behind project management, how to do scheduling. This is why I started my business. So like mathematics, like earned value. My master is in earned value. And after that, I started recognizing that project management, the mathematical part is not a big part of the problem. The big part of the problem are soft skills. And then I shifted uh, a little bit to more the human sides of project management, the communication sides, and with this strong background in mathematics, this was a very big and very deep knowledge for me as a differential in the marketplace. So to understand these two pieces, the mathematical and now also the human side.
If I understood right, you understand that the best qualities that you had for your engineering degree helped you with project management, right?
Yes, it's not it's also a success. It's something I'm very proud of everything that I could get over the time, and I'm very glad of sharing this. And I work very much with the people that are starting, and they start asking, what should I do to be successful? And success is, there is no one single recipe for success. But one thing that I like to highlight in my career that make things happen, the engineering side that we discussed it's one nice side. It's good, but I don't think that this is the major point that make things happen in my career. First, it's my when I was teenager, because I come from a family with a lot of challenge regarding financial resources. So I studied in the school, studied only because my parents, they were professors, and I received a scholarship to attend. And then I saw people, I remember when I was 14, 15 years old, I remember that I didn't have even a bag to go to school. So I carry everything in a supermarket bags to go to school, and all used books, and everything at that time was a challenge, because when you are a teenager, you want to be successful. You are starting to become adult, and you are not so adult. So this challenge, and then I start putting in my mind that I need to break this, and I need to be successful. And this drove me a lot to study. So I starting to be compulsive with study. So I said, okay, I don't have too much resources, but I can understand and I can learn a lot, because this will be my asset. So I started extremely hard during my teenagers. And after that, I went to the Brazilian army in a compulsory military service. And at that time, I understood that the limits are above and beyond the limits that I was setting in the past. So, and I said, okay, I can do much more than I thought in the past. I can stay 5 days without food, without sleeping, and I will still survive. And this sounds a little bit strange, but this helped me in the time of my life that I need to understand that, because when you were 18 and 19, you are not aware. You have a lot of panics, and you have a lot of challenges. And then I said, after I leave the army, the Brazilian army, and I said, oh, now everything is easy. After staying hungry, suffering a lot of challenges and physical and psychological challenges, I said, I can do whatever I need. And after that, this was a big shift in my life, because I was still studying, and then I started doing classes, and then everything starting to moving forward. But one thing that helped me a lot to be successful were commitment, and extremely hard work. What I see now, and I try to talk, and why I'm doing this interview, because I know that there is a lot of people that are starting and they are struggling to position themselves, and the life is not easy. That I don't want to lie to anybody. The life is very, very hard, but we need to work very hard. Don't expect great results working from 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. and then going to watch your soap opera or your movie. I work up to now something like 16, 17 hours per day. Today's holiday in Brazil. I'm here in US now, but today's holiday in Brazil, and I was working almost normally. There is a price to pay for success. So and this is something I don't rest in the things that went well with me in the past. So I work like I will not have food in 2 days. So I work thinking like that, what I can do new. So this mix makes the success. And of course, lucky to be in the right place at the right time and the right speech. And so it's not only okay in chemical engineering or having problems with money in the past. So no, but everything together, it's like brick by brick that will build the wall. So it's not, there is not one receipt. I would love to have one. I would love to have one, but there is no receipt for that.
Right. No, I was trying to get you to talk. I mean, you talked about the qualities that you had within your experience that helped you into project management, but I was trying to get into your worst qualities. Those play a big role, yes.
First, I'm so passionate about what I do that sometimes this brings the trouble because I don't know when it's time to stop. If you leave me, I can work 24 hours a day. Because I love this for me. I see some kind of this something like self-help videos. They say don't work too much and rest, enjoy the life. But for me, work is like enjoy the life. It's amazing. I don't know. I cannot tell my clients, but I don't know why they pay me because I love what I do and I would love to do this for free, but it's so interesting because it's a matter of passion. So for me, work, it's not a big trouble. Work for me, it's a pleasure. It's something nice to do. But this, when you work with people, you need to understand that it's Ricardo's mindset. This is not the word mindset. Nobody will agree with this completely. So sometimes when you are working in groups, this will be a challenge. And the second worst quality is to be extremely anxious. Extremely. So I sometimes it burns me inside when I'm not doing. For example, I would love when in the past I stayed at home while everybody was working. For me, this is painful today because I say, "Oh, I'm losing time. I need to do something different, something new." And this, it's in one side it's nice, but in the other side, this is extremely hard to handle with my family, with my two daughters. So this is a big challenge.
We have a saying in Portugal. I don't know if you have it in Brazil that says when you choose a profession, pick something that you enjoy doing. That way, you won't work a single day in your life.
Yes, that's. I agree with you 100%. And one thing that it's really important. I love money. I love to make money. But if you put money in the first topic, the money will not come alone. You need to think above and beyond. Then everything will conspire to help you. So this is really interesting. It's really interesting when we think about volunteer work, like you are doing, like I'm doing right now with you. A lot of people ask me, why did you start volunteering for PMI in 1998 up to 2009? You spent in 2009 something like 150 days, working days for free for PMI. A lot of people ask me that, and this it's because if you believe in something, you can drive things. And if you drive things to the path that you believe, you will generate a wave back for you. Everybody is doing that. Because if we grow the marketplace, if we grow the awareness about project management, then everybody will receive back. You will receive, I will receive back. But we cannot sit, relax, and just wait good things happen, because this is not the way that things work.
Yes, I think you're absolutely right. So, what drives you now? What are your goals at this moment? Why are you working that hard every day?
Yeah, this is good. My wife asks me this all the time, all the time. Yeah, but it's not that sometimes there is no answer. But one thing that this is my personal belief is that we cannot pass the life without living something good that we believe for other people. So I believe that it's not a matter of making money, working, and return back, but to leave something good for the generations. And this is the reason why I work hard. And I work hard for sure to give a better life for me, a better life for my family, but also to bring a better life for other people also, to make them aware. For example, I record a podcast, a 5-minute, it's called 5-Minute Project Management Podcast. I have almost 250 podcasts, almost 750,000 people that listen on my website, and it's completely free, no login, nothing. And why I did that? I don't want to catch people's email. I want to help people. If they believe this will be good for me, of course I will exercise influence. But it's most important to show them what I believe, what are my feelings, and this takes a lot of time. And why I do this? Because if the people start to become more aware of what's going on, they will be more prepared, the marketplace will increase, and will generate great value chain of improvements. So this is why I work very hard, and I do a lot of volunteer work, and also for sure I do a lot of business also. But when we can mix, help people, and make money, this is the great to work. But I don't know. And when you ask me why do I work so hard, it's that maybe this passion. I don't feel this. This doesn't irritates me. This is a part. No, nothing. Like here, I'm thinking like I'm talking with a friend here. So it's there's nothing special on that for me that hurts me.
I've seen a couple of presentations that you made, and one of the things that you come up with from time to time is the Posner research, where it focuses on, well, basically soft skills you were just talking about a while ago. Communication skills, organizational skills, team skills, leadership, and so on.
First, why I'm so worried? Thinking above and beyond the Posner research. First, the Posner research was a landmark in the concept of project management. If we look back to the Vijay Verma books regarding human skills for project management, for project managers, the very old books of PMI, old publication, not old, I don't mean that they are not valuable, but they are very traditional research. And the Posner study, it's very important. And why I like to talk about soft skills, because most of the project managers, they come from these mathematical skills, that sets. So they are from IT, they are from engineer, mathematics, physics, and they are much more mathematical related. They love to do PMP questions regarding numbers, calculate critical path and this. But in the real life, the computer can do this for us. The problem is that the computer cannot solve the communication problems. They cannot motivate people. And when I discovered that, I started studying extremely hard this side of the project management. So communications. So I did the program on negotiation at Harvard Law School. So I started studying, and I stopped a little bit in the mathematical side, and I invested a huge amount of money and time to learn and to understand this area that I didn't learn during my engineer degree. And why that I want to show this? Because without soft skills, nothing will happen in your project. You can do the best scheduling, systematic. You can do Monte Carlo simulation, AHP, and everything, but you need to understand that you are talking with people. And the people, they have their own feelings, their own panics. And if you cannot manage that, this will bring to you only trouble and trouble. Because of that I love to show people this human side. So this is the public, because if we go to the PMI Congress and everything, we see a lot of people from this technical background, but we don't see too much people in the psychological side and social science. We don't see these people there.
But it's funny the way you put it. You say that basically soft skills come first, and then everything will fall into place. But what you usually hear from experts in project management is the opposite. You have to have your hard skills in place and then complement it, because they make a difference, with your soft skills.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's great to see that people think differently. But for me, soft skills. For me, if you ask me, Ricardo, highlight for me the major things that you see in a top and very successful people. First, it's commitment. Commitment with what you believe, with your company, with your job, with your own company, with what you believe, but you are committed to that first. And second, it's the ability to drive people, to lead people, because a project manager will not work alone. Okay? And after that, we see the technical skills. I did, let me tell you, I did more than 100 project offices. I managed $18 billion projects in a lot of different places, from countries with more resources and also from countries, very, very poor countries. And what drove the success was make people work and think together and make things happen. I don't remember a single project where the success factor was, oh, I use a very powerful high-tech technology tool and this make things happen. So I don't remember that. And if someone in another interview tell you that, I would love to understand and to see that happen.
Okay, I'll get back to you when that happens. Uh, One of the presentations that you did that I found really interesting was about your wine cellar.
And why I use this? I don't like to talk too much about my personal life, because this is usually a private matter. But why I try to show people this? Because you need to understand, if you need to believe in what you are doing. So if I want to tell people that project management is something that drives better results, I need to use this in my personal life. Because if I don't use this in my personal life, I'm in some way lying. Because why I'm telling you in the company that, oh, you should use project management, but I don't use. So I do this almost all the time, and I'm very lucky, because project management is something that it's inside my blood. So I think project management all the time. And what happened in my cellar? I love wine and I collect wine and I love Portuguese wine. And as I said to you, so and I collect wine. And for me, this is something, a pleasure, very pleasant for me. And when I moved to my old apartment to this new apartment, one of the reasons of my address change was to have a cellar in my living room, because I want to have my wines close to me, and it's something interesting. And it's very hard because it's an apartment and I need to do all the insulation and everything and prepare everything. And this was a 5-month project where I was the sponsor and I was also the project manager. And why this? Why this? Because I didn't want anybody else to handle the project, because I would love to understand the techniques and everything behind the technical side of building your own cellar. And this was a great lesson, because a lot of people ask me, did you do a schedule? Yes, I did. A schedule, a WBS chart, risk management plan, and everything went so well. Went extremely well. So we had very few changes, and we finished it on budget, on time. And of course, I didn't need to do that. But I'm pretty sure that if in this small effort that is building your own cellar, you can be successful. Imagine thinking in an airport or in a huge IT system or in a huge project like the World Cup in Brazil. So if we apply this, we can save billions of dollars. We can save time. We can improve the results. So we need to show this in our own life.
Can you tell me a bit about that? How I mean, from someone who did the projects you've done, doing a wine cellar is something small, right? But you are really proud about it.
Yeah, but let me tell you, Luis, I did that. Sometimes Ricardo, the customer, asked Ricardo, the project manager, oh, let's think about changing this or changing that. And Ricardo, the project manager, said, no, because if you change this, will be this is out of scope. And I look, this happened to me 3 or 4 times during that project. And I said, if I do that, I will delay the project for 3 weeks, and I don't want to do that. So this was very, this brought to me discipline to avoid this kind of changes. So to avoid, and this was, I need to remember, this was in 2005. The cellar is 6 years old up to now, and it's perfect, working perfectly, no changes after the project has done. Only the wines inside, but nothing else.
Perfect. Tell me something. Why didn't you go for something more flexible, like agile, for instance, or some even lighter methodologies that are a trend these days, like Kanban, for instance? Why did you stick with the more hard tools in project management?
This is interesting. First of all, I'm certified in Agile and from Scrum Alliance. And why I did that, I remember in 2009, if you go to my website, I was invited as PMI to go there and to deliver a presentation about how PMI see this Scrum and this Agile movement. And I was the only one wearing suit, tie and everything. 400 people wearing Bermudas, jeans, and they look at to me like an evil and say, oh, this guy coming here and I don't know. And then I start talking and I said, look, we need to understand that the tools that help us to deliver better results, these are the tools that we should look for. We are not competing here. This is a waste of time to say, oh, this is better and this is not better. It depends. It depends of the project. It depends of your mindset. It depends of your team. And this is not a problem. And I'm telling you this because I will certify it. from Scrum Alliance. And why I'm doing this? Only to prove to you there is not only one way to deliver better results. And then because of that, I did the certification. And I did that to prove everybody that this is a waste of time to saying, oh, this is hard and this is soft. I agree that Agile is a great tool in specific cases. They assume that you have a very well-developed team, working team, like we call self-developed working team. So the people are completely aware of their work. This for me, it's great and it's a challenge because if I have a team of 4 people or 5 people, I can highlight and I can see their commitment. Okay, but if I'm building an airport with something like 10,000 people, that's to talk to the people. Okay, do what you think it's good and tell me tomorrow in our daily Scrum. So this is a challenge. This is a challenge. So a Scrum for me, Scrum or Agile, doesn't fit in all cases. And we love, this is something that I can't understand. We love to find magical solutions. Oh, drink this water and then you go to heaven. It's like follow this or follow that. This is wrong. The life is much more complex. So Agile works very well in some IT projects with small teams when you can improve and in an incremental process the product. But in the other hand, when you have a fixed firm price contract, when you need to deliver one clear scope, you are not so flexible to say, oh, well, we should do this cycle. So this is a big challenge. And I had the discussion many times. So Agile is great. And I use Agile in a lot of communications process in my business, in a lot of small jobs, small things. We can use the concept behind Agile. But the major big projects that I work with, infrastructure projects, very large projects, industrial constructions, this is the challenge to think this Agile movement. So it's good and it's not so good. But I hate this decision, what is better? No, everything is good.
I completely agree with you. Uh, I would like to. We've spent over 30 minutes now talking, and I would like to take some time discussing something that you've done that you're extremely proud of. I mean, you have a lot to choose from, but there must be some project that really made you feel a better person.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to tell you, but let me give you, instead of giving you one, let me give you some of them. The first, I will split this in 2 sides: my personal life and also my business. Okay, talking in the personal life, I'm extremely proud of what I've done at PMI, because I never, ever thought in my life that I would be PMI chairman after 3 years on the board, coming from Brazil, speaking Portuguese. Remember, one thing that I forgot to tell you, up to 1997, I didn't speak even a word in English. Everything I learned it after 19, and it's very hard. I'm very proud. I have a lot of troubles with my English, but I'm very proud of learning too late. But yeah, and coming from Brazil in a different perspective, in a part of the country that PMI is growing, but it's not the major part, and become the chairman after 3 years on the board in my first term. So this was extremely, I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud of my colleagues that elect me on the board at that time. The second thing is that, as I said to you, I love study. And one thing that I'm extremely proud of was having the opportunity last year to stay 6 months at MIT in Boston. This for me was the heaven. First of all, I love to study. and it's amazing because I remember when I studied, I have a lot of admiration by the top universities in US and all over the world, and I never thought that I could be accepted or could attend one course like that, and also it helped me a lot in the and to be more and more humble because I used to be a very good student when I was at the school, as I said to you in the beginning. But when you go to universities like MIT, and this is a completely different, you are one in the class, my friend, and if you don't study, and you'll have a problem. So and this I'm very extremely happy. And the third in the personal aspect was the company that I helped to build, and I sold in 2006. So I built with two partners, two great partners in Brazil, a software company that resells Microsoft, and this was when everything started happening. Remember the classes and everything. And when I joined them, we had something like 3, 4, 5 employees. And I sold it in 2006 with 4,000 employees. Now they have 11,000. So it's a great enterprise, and we built, and only one interesting thing, we built this with zero money. Not 500, zero. Working hard, using my home telephone, and answering the calls during the day at home, thinking that we were in the company, and work extremely hard to build this from nothing, from scratch. So this, I'm very happy. In the professional side, one of the for me, one of the I had a lot of opportunities, but one of the most happy projects that I did was in Angola, in Africa, and why in Sonangol for the oil company, and we worked there. I went there something like 22 times, I think, for about 2 years and a half, and with a lot of challenges coming from the country, coming from the poor side, coming from extremely high growth without too much infrastructure, and we helped them to create a portfolio and a project management approach for them that I'm pretty sure they saved a huge amount of money. And for a company like Sonangol, the oil company in Angola, this brings a better future for the society and also for the whole country. So this was the project for me that raised me a lot of interest. And the second one happened last week when I did a consulting slash a class about negotiation. I worked very hard also in the negotiation side and for the human rights area in the federal government. And it's so interesting. It was for me a landmark also. And why it was a landmark? Because negotiate a bottle of water or a car or sell and buy, this is I'm not telling easy, but it's less hard. But when you are negotiating value, we are negotiating something that there is a lot of political aspects behind, value, religious values behind that. It's extremely hard to think about people with disability, to help people to fight against pedophilia, and to understand things that are with a lot of passion and values behind that, and the questions regarding the gay people. So it's really interesting to see through a professional side and to understand what is moving people to think against or to think pro this kind of acts was for me one of the most pleasant times that I have, and this was 5 days.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that. Do you think it would be, it could be possible to have those projects you just talked about, say, 10 years ago? I mean, what changed for you in 10 years that allowed you to do these projects and to feel that tremendous return from those?
Yeah, this is a good question, and I think that first experience. I did a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of mistakes. So from these mistakes, I learned a lot, and then I applied this to my customers. So now I do less mistakes, and I can improve and bring better results. For sure, 10 years ago, the marketplace was a completely different marketplace. I was trying to position myself as a consultant, trying to position myself as a project manager. And also, even today, it's very hard to explain to people what we do. I have a lot of friends that don't know. They know what is a doctor, what is a lawyer, what is an engineer, but they don't understand what we do. So imagine 10 years ago, it was a bigger challenge, but I learned a lot from my mistakes. I learned a lot, and one thing that I like to give as a tip for people that are looking for a job, it's that usually when we are doing an interview, we love to talk good things about us. Yeah, this is obvious, but I remember once I was interviewing someone to a project manager position. And he said, I did that, this was successful, this was great, and I did that, and I did that. And after 15 minutes of success plus success plus success, I stopped him and I said, are you sure you are not applying for God? Because this is the real life. You didn't fail, never. So let's invert. I want to work with you. Because a failure is a part of the business, but we need to be smart and nimble enough to learn and adapt ourselves very quickly to promote the change. So we cannot fail and say, oh, I'm a failure. No, but we need to fail to learn quickly and become better in the future. So I did this a lot.
Right. What would you talked about tips just now. What would you recommend for a new project management starting in the profession? Some books, an attitude, some learning along the way. What would you start recommending?
Yeah, this is good. This is good. I have a lot of recommendations. First of them, first of them, work hard. Work hard, and be committed with what you are doing. If you are at the school, try to be the best student you can. Don't compete with the others, but the best you can. Give always 100%. So if you are a student, if you are a trainee, try to do 100. Don't do only what they asked you to do. They say, oh, staple here, and then you say, I stapled every. No, try to do. If you see the success stories of people, that you see that they go above and beyond the regular things. So, and these are the initial ones. Regarding study project management. Okay, certified, work hard, become a PMP, but don't think that this is enough. Project management is a much more complex discipline than just do scheduling. There are a lot of things behind power, politics, influence, everything that you need to be aware. So study other stuff. Study psychology, study philosophy. I spend a lot of time. I was thinking that you would ask me which kind of book I'm reading. So I finished it 3 days ago, one book from Dan Ariely, Predictably Irrational, about economical behavior. And this book, it's to show me how people are in some way crazy to make their decisions. And if you think, oh, why a project manager is reading this? Why not reading a very technical earned value management book? Because we need to think above, we need to open our minds and to understand in a much more complex. So this is the second aspect. The first regarding commitment, the second it's about study, and the third one is networking. Meet people, go to your chapter, bring your business card, meet people, shake hands, attend webinars. You have a great webinar series in your community. So it's great. And this is a benefit that the people don't take advantage on that. So try to learn to see people, to watch other webinars. And this is great to, first, to improve your knowledge, and second, to meet people. Because maybe the people that is behind you, or the people that it will be in the same chat that you are, he or she can help you on these three aspects. For me are the major, and you cannot just learn, you need to learn and let people know that you know that subject, otherwise they will not see you. So use your LinkedIn, use your Facebook page, use your Twitter, follow interesting people. So improve this. Don't use this kind of social media only to waste your time and talking about which color of suit you should dress tonight. This is irrelevant. You need to think what is really relevant for you professionally. So try to make advantage on that. This is free. This is free. So nobody can tell me, oh, I cannot move forward because I don't have money.
What should have you been asked, and what is the answer for that?
Oh yeah. I have one question that you should ask me. What does my wife and my two daughters think about that? And the answer is that we need to learn continuously. And first of all, since they were born, I showed them the value of work and how important it is to work. The work creates value for the planet, for everybody. So and they understood that. And just after this interview, they are just behind this door waiting for me. They are anxious waiting for me because I will play with them Tinker Toy. We will start building some stuff and I will be playing with them. So I talk to them. And my wife, she's a great partner. She's a great partner. We are together for 17 years and we built everything together. So it's more than a wife, it's a partner, and it's a life partner. And this helped me a lot. This I'm very, very lucky on that, because this is not a problem for me. This is a very good opportunity. So we work together. I spend time traveling, and as much as I can, I bring them. We are together, and we are trying to become to turn our two daughters into global citizens. So to understand that the world is above and beyond our corner here, and to understand that. So this is extremely important. So it's trying to join the personal life, because I know very successful people in the business side that cannot handle this personal side as well as they do in the other side.
Yeah, and it's necessary. You have to complement your professional life, and you have to have some support. You cannot do it alone. The second trick question: who do you think we should interview next? Who would you like to see interviewed and watch?
Oh God, I would love to see you interviewing someone from other fields. And why I would love to see you interviewing someone like Malcolm Gladwell that will be presenting at PMI Global Congress, and this is very good, because to interview people that are not in the same field, because when we are in the same field we think almost the same, and we start rounding in the same topics. So we need to see someone like Dan Ariely that I said to you, from Predictably Irrational. So it's trying to interview people from other fields, and people that do not necessarily agree with the roots and the concepts that we agree. because this diversity brings us value and make us think differently. And people like we missed Steve Jobs last week, and one thing that it's the most important thing for me that he did is he made us think differently about technology, completely different from the bit to byte to someone that the Queen Elizabeth can use. So he brought, so this is, but you can do this only if you think out of the box. You cannot do this thinking in a straightforward and very technological way.
Well, Ricardo, I have to thank you very, very much for your time that took you to do this interview, and hopefully we will talk some more.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did one for you about AHP, a very technical one, and now it's good to talk about different things. Yeah, it's good. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. I really appreciate also everybody that took the time to prepare this. It's again, it's a volunteer work. You were at night in Lisbon. I'm here in Miami Beach at afternoon. So, and I really appreciate your time and the community of practice, everybody that came together to put this and to help people in a volunteer-based work. So I really appreciate. You can count on me for everything you need. Okay, thank you very much.